Well, hello there. Welcome to Women Around a Table Eating Food. We're Nick and Jen, therapist and writer, partners in crime, and lifelong best friends. Around here, WTF means what the food. And it's our excuse to go deep, get real, and share the kind of messy conversations that usually stay between us and a plate of something delicious. So sit back, grab a bite, and join our conversation.
Hey girl, hey, again since hey girl, hey. Now I have my tea.
Hey girl, hey, I'm glad you have your tea. What kind of tea?
It is made by Mountain Rose Herbs
Love
out in
them.
Oregon. Not a sponsor, not opposed, certainly not
Not at
opposed.
all.
It's the blues tea. It's nettle heavy. My stomach's a little iffy today.
Hmm.
Uh a little iffy, so I am feeling like I just needed a little bit of softness and nourishment, and I loved me my nettle tea, but this also has, I think it's called the blues because it also has some St. John's wort in it and also a little bit of mint
Mm.
and something else. I can't remember, but it's a very sort of greens heavy detoxification yumminess, maybe some dandelion. I can't remember.
Yum. That
Anyway.
sounds delicious.
Hey, you would love it. You
Do you
would
know
love
what
it.
I'm
What's in
having
your
right
bowl?
now?
I bet I know.
Guess.
Well, it could be something with chimichurri since that's totally been the sauce of the month, I feel. Or it's probably some yogurt, proteinified.
Neither.
No? What you
No.
eating?
Well, I had a fabulous weekend with my bestie,
Oh, I know what you're
and
eating.
she brought homemade chicken chili, and I
She
am
did.
eating the final serving today, and it
Nice.
is delish.
Mm. So you're eating it way super healthier than we had it the other night, but I will describe that for the chillins here. And when our dear friend Alice was here also, which Alice is still here. Hi, Alice, you're upstairs.
Hi, Alice.
She's working upstairs. Uh, so Alice loves Mexican, Tex-Mex, all that yummy stuff, and so does Piper. Finn's a little less into it, but was super open-minded. And I have become a little bit accustomed to renaming dishes sometimes to try to make them seem
Smart.
more appealing, or at least for whatever the palate might be. And I thought that maybe if I called them sloppy Joe bowls, that might fly
Nice.
for Finn, because I think that Finn sometimes worries that things are going to be really spicy because uh, he just doesn't really like super spicy food. And chili usually has a connotation of, it's got a little history being a spicy,
Yes.
but
Yes.
Piper loves it. So anyway, I was going to call them sloppy Joe bowls, and then I couldn't stick with my story. It's like I couldn't lie about it well enough, which was dumb. I was just kind of, it was a little halting. And I said, okay, well, really, it's really, it's really chili bowl. All I saw was tail. All I saw was her tail. That was really funny.
Yes, for those of you who are not viewing this on the YouTube, my cat, one of my cats, Shakti, just jumped up onto my lap and a random tail flew into
Random tail.
the video.
Yeah, that was pretty cute.
Yeah.
Uh, so anyway, I had Parker get these tortilla bowls. It was like a nice, like a thick, really yummy corn tortilla bowl. And you bake them in the oven for a little bit till they get nice and toasty. I don't know the brand. I'd never seen them before. They were
Mm.
at Market Basket. And so I built chili bowls with some seasoned lettuce and shredded
Yum.
extra sharp cheese and the chili. And I have to say that it made a delicious meal the other night. So I was happy with
That
that
is
batch. It
amazing.
was super good.
Yeah.
It was super good.
Excuse me. It's absolutely divine.
Thank
It's
you.
one of my favorite chilies I've ever had.
I'm so glad. I'm going to give you the
Yay.
recipe.
Okay.
Maybe I'll
Thank you.
even put it in the show notes
I was
for
gonna say,
everybody. How about
maybe
that? Gotta
you
start sharing
could.
this shit. You got
I
it.
love it.
I'm happy to. I'm happy
I
to.
love
Well, I'm
it.
glad that you are having that. I think that my belly is a little off as you obviously know, and as listeners will learn, we have two Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, and Scout woke up this morning at 5:10 with an upset belly. And so we
Huh.
were up. Not that that's it. I often wake up that early anyway, but we both, Alice and I, went to bed pretty late last night because
Yeah.
I
Like
introduced
how
her
late?
to, oh, even late. It was mid 20 past, almost 12:30 by the time I actually turned
Wow.
everything off. We watched, I got her onto Mayor of Eastham, which I
Oh, okay.
deeply believe is one of the best short limited series I've ever watched. And Kate Winslet is magic. And as is everyone else in that cast. But anyway, so we watched 3 episodes, and then I got a call from dear Erin last night,
Aaron
who
Rebecca Chase.
Erin Rebecca Chase, my sister, who then told me that she had left a she was I sadly I was not going to answer it because we were in the middle of the show, and then I saw that she had told me that my mother had fallen last night.
Oh
She tripped.
no.
She tripped going into the kitchen, and
She
Erin was
okay?
concerned. She's okay. She's okay. We talked multiple times last night, and I called her again this morning, but it was just like one of those things, just
Mm.
near the threshold of the kitchen, and her foot caught, and boom, she went down. And Erin was concerned, and Erin
Mm.
didn't call the ambulance or the police,
Okay.
which was good. Which anybody out there who has a sibling or has a situation where they spend an awful lot of time with someone who may be developmentally delayed, Erin over functions in trying to take care of people and make sure everybody's okay. And so rather
Yes.
than trying to reach out to me generally, the Acushnet Police Department is her first call, which I was super proud of her for
Yeah.
not doing that. And I told mom that we really needed to talk that up and, you know, buy her some extra Dunkin' Donuts coffees.
There you
Speak
go.
her love language.
I
Say
love
thank
it
you,
so
Erin,
much.
for making the
I
right
love it.
decision.
Well done,
Yes.
Aaron. So speaking of shows, two things.
Mm.
One, we finished the Jane Goodall documentary on
Oh,
Netflix.
oh,
So amazing.
oh.
Really just
Famous
moving.
last words. Famous last
Yeah.
words. Yeah.
Yeah. And just so moving. Her energy is so grounded and beautiful and heart-centered. And it really just was truly moving. And that last part, I won't, describe more of it. So if people want to watch it, that when she's looking right into the camera and, he has left the room and just chills.
Yeah.
Yeah, chills.
Brad Falchuk is the creator of it, a director, producer. I think he's also got a creative partner. And that show it's the American version that started in uh, Finland. It's Danish. So
Mm.
started in Daneland. That's where it started.
Denmark?
Yes,
Yeah.
sometimes the
Dan-
brain just sort of like Daneland,
yeah. Daneland. Yes, because there's a
Yep,
country
Daneland,
called
like
Daneland.
Finland and England and all the other inns. So,
Yes.
yes, just the concept of it. I won't go into a long spiel of waxing poetic about it, but if anyone is interested in truly mesmerizing, like just a life-changing choice of journalism, the way that
Yeah.
show is formatted, it stays with you. I'm so glad that you guys watched it.
Yeah.
It
It was
really
such a beautiful.
moved us.
Yeah, same. And then you're talking about Mayor of Eastham,
Easttown,
Easttown.
Easttown.
One of your favorites. One of our recent favorites. The Girlfriend with Robin Wright.
I've
Have you seen
heard
it?
of it and haven't
It's
seen it.
on, I think it's on Amazon Prime. Such a good show,
Yeah.
like a thriller,
Ooh.
psychological thriller, very nuanced relational dynamics that are kind of fucked
Mm,
up. And Robin Wright is stellar. I mean, all the actors in this are stellar. I don't
mm,
know the other two actors' names, but Robin Wright is, the way she looks, her facial expressions, there's so much to her character as a mom in this. It
Mm,
was, yeah. So put it on your list. You and Parker would love it.
I will. I will. I
Yeah.
love it. It's not bloody. You said it's thriller. Is it gory at
It's
all?
n- it's not bloody. No, it's not gory, not like that. No, but it's kind of like a
Okay.
suspense-ish. Something
Yeah.
bad may happen vibe.
Okay. That I like. That I like. I am ready for gory, grossy, spooky season previews to be
Mm.
gone for
Yeah,
myself because
yeah.
I don't need to see it. Like, no offense to it whatsoever, and God knows I think that Stephen King is brilliant, but I can't see another promo for it
Right.
on I think on HBO Max, only because these things stay with me, and when I see a flash of an image, I am a fucking wuss. So it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with story or production value, and God knows Finn absolutely loves that genre up to the sky and above. Oh, speaking of which,
What?
dude, do you know what I'm going to watch with him and watch with Parker on Saturday afternoon?
What?
What is one of the lines that I have asked you to say over the years because it would just crack me up because I just think it's funny? Say it into your Yeti.
I'll never tell.
Oh my gosh. So that's the other one. That's so funny. No, I was thinking
May
this
she
one
rest in
has to do
peace.
with may she rest in peace. No, this one,
Oh,
okay.
oh, 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 wait,
Okay.
I got it.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
got it.
all
I
right.
got
All
it. I
right.
get
I
it.
can tell.
Have the lamb stop screaming, Clarice.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That is what we're watching.
Oh
That's
my
what
God,
we're
I'm so
watching.
excited.
I haven't seen that in years. And
Yeah.
Parker, we have a funny going joke that because I saw almost every major movie growing up with my father. And so he was telling me that that's what he was going to watch with Finn as like a Halloween weekend kind of thing. And I said, I might actually watch that because there are other things that I can't bring myself to watch. And I said, oh, I was thinking about when I saw it. And he said, you saw it with your dad, right? And I said, no, I don't think I did. Oh yeah, I watched that with my dad and my best friend in high school, Ben Travers. The three of us watched
Ah,
that together. I
so classic. Silence of the
right,
Lambs, if anybody is wondering
right.
what that
Sorry.
reference.
Yeah.
Jodie Foster, epic.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sir Anthony
Hopkins.
Hopkins. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, that was, oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah. I am
I can't
super
watch that
excited.
again here. Heather wouldn't really enjoy that.
No, no.
No, that would be a no bueno. There's a little bit too much, you know, gore and or talk
Ugh.
of gore and things like
Talk of
that.
gore and psychological gore and all of those
Yeah,
things. Yeah, what a wonderful series. What a
that's
wonderful
so
series that
fun.
was. Anyway, so yes, yes. So that'll be Saturday afternoon.
Awesome. So tell me, anything up for you this week besides those fun things and shows and anything that I don't know? Because
Mm,
we haven't talked in like a few days.
no. Let's see. Alice stayed. Parker's traveling in London this week for work, and I invited Alice to come and stay for a few days just so she could have a change of pace, change of scenery. And it was
Hmm.
lovely just having, I mean, it was just like being at your house last weekend, the having other energy around, like
Yeah,
I love being by myself, but I also love going to friends' houses and doing fun things. And so,
yeah.
yesterday we tried to knock off a little bit early after a busy day. And it's funny because she lives in Boston and I usually go there for things. We
Mm.
usually do stuff there. I think that in the 5 years that we've lived here in Acton, I haven't like we'd never gone out for supper before and I hadn't taken
Mm.
her to some of the cute shops because we also moved up here during the pandemic and then did not we didn't pandemic pod together at all and so we didn't see one another forever. So
Yeah.
it was nice to, I don't know, kind of get out and work your
Mm.
ass off hard for part of the day and then be able to enjoy
Yeah.
a benefit of working for yourself, I suppose, and being able to take an hour off and go into your town. So it was really,
Absolutely.
It
Oh,
was
so
really lovely. So
fun.
it was
Some girl
nice.
time.
It was some girl time. It was girl
Cool.
time. How about
Sweet.
you, Lovey?
Oh, it's good. Yeah, so I, you know how much of a lunatic I am, or I shouldn't say that. I'm very proactive with my health. So I do a
Mm-hmm.
lot of testing and blood
Mm-hmm.
work and all these different things. So I just got my second round of blood work through Function Health. I've been doing that for a couple years. And I was getting retested for a panel of autoimmune things because my last one
That's right.
back in June came back with super elevated levels of autoimmune markers and kind of ones I had never heard of, cardiolipin and glycoprotein A, B. Anyway, they were super, super elevated. And which is weird because I don't have any symptomology or
Mm,
anything like that. And so I worked with my naturopath over the past few months to get on, some high doses of curcumin because it was all around systemic inflammation
mm.
in my body. And then I just retested, and most of them are still elevated, are still high.
I'm
And but a
sorry.
couple a couple of them came down a little. So there's IgA, IgM, IgG. I'm not going to go into all of what those things mean because it's a little complicated. So a couple of the IgG ones were lower in range, which is great, but all the other ones are still elevated. So I am on a quest to connect all the dots because then I have these other inflammatory markers that continue to be high, but that are starting to come down. So, you know me, when I find something like that, I'm like a dog with a bone and I do all the research.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've just started that. So, that's what's kind of on my mind the past couple days
Mm,
is trying to figure out and piece together if this marker is elevated, but this one is not. How do they interact? What could possibly be going on? And so that's what I'm throwing myself into the past couple days, and luckily I have an appointment with a new doctor on Friday tomorrow. The doctor I was telling you about with Gliss Wellness.
Bliss, wellness,
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah, Dr. Kumar. So she's an expert in perimenopause, menopause care, and also when I talked to her the other day, she does a lot of complex autoimmunity stuff with women. So it's like, huh, who knew?
It's fortuitous,
Yeah.
very
So
fortuitous.
I'll
Do you
keep you
think you're going to have
updated.
to go on on an elimination diet or anything that's going to, how are you going to pinpoint what could be causing the inflam?
I'm
Or I
not
suppose she
totally
was going to tell you
sure.
that, right? Because
Yeah,
she's the
I think
pro.
part of it in my research is it could be partially hormonal fluctuations. So even though I'm on MHT, finding the right dosage and things like that sometimes takes several months. So it could be adjusting that. It also is gut stuff, right? So a lot
Mm,
of systemic inflammation is caused by gut dysbiosis. I don't
mm,
have any gut issues or symptoms,
mm,
but it doesn't mean that my microbiome isn't changing, particularly as a woman almost 50. Our microbiome changes dramatically. So that could be part of it. It also could be a dormant infection that,
mm.
like an Epstein-Barr, Lyme, something like that, that has reared its head. So there are multiple different layers to explore. So
And
that's
we
what's on
can
my mind.
assume that, well, first, I'm sorry that
Oh,
those
good.
markers didn't change at all, especially knowing how hard you work to try to keep your innards clean and healthy and strong. If you were not being tested by Function Health,
Mm,
are these things that typical blood panels would not pick up?
correct.
Mm, okay.
So in traditional medicine, you typically get your CBC, your complete blood count and all of that kind of stuff. And some of them more discreet, which are discreet, but also now are becoming more popular. You have to ask for from your doctor. So
Mm,
like your ApoB, which is around your cholesterol and your heart functioning, your LP little a, same thing. Not everybody goes in and gets tested for those things. So you have to advocate for yourself to get tested. But with Function
mm,
Health, they test about, I want to say 130 biomarkers. So
mm,
within those categories, you've got your autoimmunity, you've got your heart, you got your endocrine system, your thyroid, all of these different areas of your body that they're testing things. So the reason I went a level deeper with the autoimmunity is because what they call your ANA, so your anti-nuclear antibody, came back positive and it never has come back positive. So I went through kind of trying to determine why was my, because what that says is you've got some autoimmune activity
Mm.
happening. And so then I did the full panel, and that's where all of the other tests came back positive. So I wouldn't have thought about testing for autoimmunity for myself because I don't present with any symptoms of autoimmunity.
Mm. Well, I feel like that's a billboard to men and women of a certain age who need to make sure that we get our blood tested, even everything feels like it's even if everything feels like it's okay, right? Even
Yeah.
if everything seems like it's okay, you gotta open up the hood to be able to see
Yeah.
what's going on.
Well,
And
it's
this
the
is
reason
not a
why
oh,
I
go
was
ahead,
going to
love.
say it's no, I was going to say it's the reason why too. When you and I have talked about the coronary artery calcium score, right?
Yeah.
Then how important that is for women around our age to have a baseline for is there any hard plaque building up in our heart? We wouldn't feel that per se, unless it was super, super elevated when we were having, shortness of breath and things like that. But we wouldn't we wouldn't know that what's happening under the hood.
So ironically, we were gonna be talking about this. We thought we wanted to chat about this because not that we plan out these conversations because we don't, but sometimes we like to have a general idea of maybe what we will discuss. And we were last week when we were together, we were talking about, a lot of the changes that we are seeing in our bodies and feeling on the insides as we get older. And really sort of thinking about things that our moms talked with us about or didn't, or,
Mm,
kind of how and why you started on your health journey in such earnest. A little bit of it was because your mom had taken a test and found out that despite the yoga and the walking and the commuting that she would do and
hmm
her friends and her going to the gym and weightlifting as well, that she had some heart trouble and she wouldn't
Yeah.
have known it if she
Yeah.
hadn't had her tests
hmm
taken, right? And
Yeah.
that was a real influencer for you to kind of look at your own health and start
Yeah.
a journey of testing as well.
Yeah. It kind of, it was, I have to say, it helped me pinpoint areas of predisposition for me, the heart being one of them, cardiovascular stuff. But I have to say, it was well before then because I had started to notice changes in my body.
Mm,
So I know I started to notice changes in my body and the way that I moved my body and the things that I ate and how I was feeling started to shift probably around 45.
mm,
And so I was like, this is really, really interesting. Or I would get blood work from my naturopath who would do a more extensive, not as extensive as Function Health, but we would check things. And even like your blood glucose, you typically get checked. That's a pretty normal thing. That was coming back borderline high. And in the past, none of my doctors said that was a problem. But as I got more into functional health and naturopathic and kind of medicine, what they call 3.0,
mm,
that borderline high was problematic. And so it just made me go into this deep dive of, okay, if that's happening, let's figure out what do we need to figure out here. And that's when I started wearing a CGM. So I started to understand how my body responds to foods from a blood sugar perspective, how it regulates. Then I went into the microbiome to see how, like, what foods are going to help build my microbiome. Then I decided to try to figure out, like, I was noticing when I had alcohol, I would wake up the next day after a glass and I would feel like I got hit by a truck.
mm,
And I was in denial because I love my red wine. I love beer. I love having a cocktail, but I had to be honest with myself that was starting not to feel right.
Mm.
I don't know if do you feel like any of those types of things started for you in your earlier mid 40s or not so much? I mean, I know I'm so like this is such a passion for me that it has been for me, but for you, any of those things?
I think I was more dealing with the fact that I around, I guess around that time, let's see, I'm 50 now. I guess it was in 2020 when I went to see Dr. Rosenberger. I was going through a period of feeling, I remember it was around my birthday, so it was in May. I felt like no matter what I ate, I felt like I had a
Mm-hmm.
basketball in my belly.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't make any difference. I could have water. And then, or if I had water first thing in the morning, I would feel wildly bloated. I could eat perfectly clean, like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, no grain. I would feel icky. I could eat a pizza and I could feel icky. I mean, it just, that started a deep dive into food sensitivities.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so based for me on food and thinking that
Mm-hmm.
if food groups were the enemy back about, I don't know, probably 2007. Yeah, around 2007. I started with some rashes.
Yeah.
Then I thought it was nightshades. That's around the time that I was living
Right.
a little bit later than that when I was living with you for a spell. And if I touched a tomato plant and I was growing tomatoes, if I touched my tomato plant, I would get contact dermatitis from the
Mm-hmm.
leaves. So then I went on a big elimination diet of all kinds of nightshades and whatnot. And, now I have a feeling the last time I was tested, which I think was 2 years ago, I had reversed a lot of the foods that were trigger foods. And that's what it was more so for me. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like, and you and I have talked about the fact that I've probably been in some semblance of perimenopause for a long time. And when I started with Dr. Rosenberger, I remember I had said to her, my mom went through menopause at 41, and my grandmother went through it at 33, I
Wow.
believe. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had said to her, I don't want to go into this next phase of life being angry or just like menopause, just
Yeah.
I didn't want to go at it from a typical, I don't want to say American, but just a typical societal perspective. I wanted to handle it differently and I wanted to get ahead of it if that is in fact what I was experiencing at that time. And
Mm-hmm.
what's interesting is that we never talked about the fact that it could potentially be menopause or perimenopause because I was like right as rain regular.
Yeah.
There was never like my periods have been like just like fucking clockwork, except for
Mm.
rare times if I would might be on the occasional antibiotic, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
if I
Mm-hmm.
had a bad cold or and I knock on wood, if I knock right now the dogs will go crazy, but they'll think somebody's at
Mm-hmm.
the door. But knock on fake wood. Uh I've I'm I've been pretty healthy throughout
Yeah.
my adult life. So yeah, I think now, like with everything that you have uncovered and everything that I have learned from you, it's a little, it's a little frustrating, disheartening to think, oh my gosh, like these could have been symptoms all this time, and
Yeah.
like I've gotten wonderful health care, and also I will be calling Gliss. I will be
Mm-hmm.
reaching out, not calling them. That sounds so
Mm-hmm.
1992.
So I was going to say
I
1980s.
I will be booking an online appointment with Gliss so that I can work with somebody more closely on my
Mm-hmm.
hormone health because I think that some of the things that I'm experiencing now, joint pain, noticing
Mm-hmm.
some things in my body that are changing a little bit,
Yeah.
I
What are you
think that I
noticing
could
in your body that's changing?
biggest two things at the moment. Uh, I would say my skin. the feeling
Mm-hmm.
of my skin. Like even just I noticed it. I started noticing that a few years ago when I would go to put sunscreen on as on
Mm-hmm.
my chest. That my the skin would like wiggle a little bit more. Like it was just a little bit more. Oh, look, it looked like I was giving a thumbs up. Hey. But I would go to put it on and it would just feel a little bit more crepey, I guess, and my
Mm-hmm.
neck. And then also looking down at my hands and thinking that my hands were crepey. So skin overall, and not
Okay.
all over my body, but, and most recently, my feet feel like they are starting to, and mom, oh my God, mom, I couldn't love you more, but my feet are totally starting to look more like your feet because my feet feel like they're spreading a little bit. And I have elven feet. I have elven
Oh,
feet and
oh,
elven
wait.
hands. Like,
Let's just talk about your feet.
I don't know that we really, we probably
They're
like people
so
don't really
cute.
fucking care
They
about,
are the
they're just
cutest
little.
little things.
They're just little.
They're the most
I
adorable things I've ever seen.
love you too. I love you
Mm,
too.
yeah.
I'm
So they're
pretty sure that
spreading?
we've seen some cats and some kittens and some puppies that are cuter than my feet. But
Mm,
yes, thank you. Uh, yeah, they're spread the top part of them, like the ball of my foot. I feel like the shape of them and I
mhm,
cannot say that I'm a runner. I cannot say that I do things that would cause this.
mm.
They look like they're changing.
They're spreading. Wow. Hair? Anything with your hair that you've noticed different?
Well, it's more fucking white. Like, I mean, that.
Besides that, any like
Nope.
texture changes in your hair?
Well, besides the fact that white hair grows in like very wiry and not
Yeah.
soft or anything. No, no, I'm being a brat. No, no, no
No.
changes there. Uh, I, yeah, I feel like I, up till this point, I have felt very, very fortunate. I feel like my hands are sore. My But I think that I feel like that's a product of the fact that I type as much as I do. I
Mm,
get worried that I'm going to lose hand strength, so I try to
mm,
do a lot of hand exercises. I guess I think
mhm.
about Nanny. I mean, Nanny
Yeah.
was, even up until the end, she was a healthy 94 and she was strong, but I
Yeah.
get worried that I'm not going to be able to open a jar. I get worried that I'm
Hmm.
not going to be able to pry things. So I worry about my grip
Mm.
strength and try to do
I
things. And and my thumbs have been bothering me lately a lot.
mm, I know somebody who can help you with that.
Yeah, tell me.
Lisa Maximus.
Lisa Maximus. I knew you were going to say her. Yes, I watch her YouTube. I watch her YouTube videos and she is miraculous. Especially
Yeah.
what she, I mean, I was gonna say this was gonna sound bitchy, like especially what she's done with you. Like I was gonna say that in a nice way, especially what she, the transformation that she has helped you to achieve. So yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like too, you, I don't know, like when I reflect on some of the changes for you body wise, I think you're right, the one that sticks out the most to me is your gut, right?
Mm.
Like that's the one over the past decade
Literally or
that,
figuratively, sometimes
um,
both. You're like, dude, those days when your stomach gets in the door before you do, yeah, that sticks out in my mind. Yeah, it sticks out to me too.
you're
R
funny.
R. Oh,
Or-
thanks.
So yeah, I think that
Yeah.
that part is what sticks out the most when I think about how things have shifted for you. I feel like I have many things that I've noticed changed over the past like
Tell me, say
decade
more.
or say more, 5 years or so. Well, I echo all of the skin stuff. It's fascinating to see how the texture of my skin has changed, the elasticity of my skin has
Your
changed.
skin.
My
Your
skin.
skin. Did you watch that? Oh my
I
gosh.
did not watch it yet.
He will never hear this, but shout out to the great Mikey Day on Saturday Night Live, who has become just a happy little staple in the Chase Corwin home. Anytime anybody says anything that sounds like the word skin, we think of a man who walks into a spider web. his skit that he did in the early spring of this year, which is 2025, and just absolutely, I can watch that. Watched it the other day. I watched it the day that I was sending it to you, and I sat at my desk wiping, just hadn't seen it for a while, wiping. So yes, your skin, Mikey
My
Day.
skin. My
I'm gonna put that in the
skin.
show notes. Honest to God, so
Oh,
good.
you
But
should.
yes,
So skin,
texture. Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Even there was a time where I was starting to get like pins and needle feelings, like I wanted to scratch myself like
Mm.
to infinity and beyond at nighttime. And I was like, what is happening? And it was like I put lotion on, I do all like even like some frankincense and like all the different things.
Itchy or like
Itch,
restless, kind of like
no, it was definitely topical. It was just like I would get itchy at night, but they like
mm,
felt like little bugs crawling on me.
mm,
And so that was another one. And so all of these things that I would, look up on ChatGPT and it would say that's a symptom of perimenopause. Like literally everything that was happening. Like my
mm,
skin, um, my shoulder stuff that sometimes I
mm,
struggle with. So like a little bit of the joint stuff, but not massively. And I started to notice my body from a muscle perspective. Obviously, we talked a little bit
mm,
about this with Lisa, but I had no muscle on my body. But I was
mm,
like, in my mind, I was healthy because I was running half marathons. I was doing some mobility and doing some lighter weights and things like that. And it was just changing how my body looked. And it was just a very weird thing because
mm,
I've never had an issue with how my body looks. Like I haven't, and I started to see things happening, even though I was eating really well and I was exercising. My body composition was changing a lot too, and it
mm,
didn't. I started to not feel comfortable in my own
mm,
skin.
mm. Yeah, you're gonna do it
So
too.
I noticed that. Again, I noticed with the alcohol that my body didn't want to drink alcohol anymore. And that was a very
Mm,
sad, a very, very sad thing to come
mm,
to because it's been such an enjoyable thing over the years for me. Temperature regulation,
mm,
like literally, and not just hot flashes, but just being able to regulate my temperatures, sometimes feeling
mm,
really, really hot and hot flashes, but then feeling kind of cold and feeling like my thermometer was just like so
mm.
wacky and off.
I'm
Yeah.
always cold, so I
Mm.
feel like for the most, I mean, I'm cold in the summertime and
Yeah.
I can get wildly hot, but I have not, well, except while sleeping. And I
Yeah.
guess I would say that probably since I probably started noticing it the most when I was around 40. I would be sweaty in
Yeah.
bed,
In bed.
sleeping. Yeah.
It's crazy. Oh, and the two final things I will say.
Yeah.
One, fucking stye. I've never had a stye
Oh
in.
my God. That
You-
was
Now
the
let's talk
poor
about it
thing.
for a second. I mean, I won't pull up my phone to go through the history of CHAZ. We named my stye CHAZ because we thought it was not a stye and that it was a chalazion, which is this hard bump. But it goes from a stye to a CHAZ, so we named it CHAZ. And we track CHAZ literally every week. And it was from June 28th until June, July, August, September. It took 3 months for that thing to go away. I went to the back to the eye doctor twice and nothing that they could do other than give me the little steroid for the eye and the
Mm,
spray and do this whole, do the protocol with the eye mask and it's still that my eyelid is like different now on that right side. It still gets red and things like that. So I have to go back to the eye doctor, but never had a stye in my life. And that's another thing that happens with perimenopause. You're more prone to styes. Who fucking knew?
who fucking knew?
Finally, the last one, super important for women or people who have vaginas. My labia has changed. My labia has changed. Now, I used to never wear underwear because I hated the feeling of underwear. And I felt it felt restrictive. And so I just didn't wear underwear. And it was great.
Commando. Commando.
Commando.
It's the way to go.
But then something started happening and my labia changed. And now I wear underwear because sometimes it feels like it's flopping in the wind.
Oh, maybe you didn't wear enough thongs. See, if you wear
I
a thong
fucking
every
hate
day,
thongs.
if you wear a thong every day like I do, all that shit just gets like bound up and you're all set. It's like you're
Oh,
strapped in.
there is nothing worse than a thong.
See,
There's nothing.
I think there's nothing worse than panty lines. So we're gonna have to agree to
Oh,
disagree.
fuck a thong. Like it is a, and it's and I know people have said you don't have the right size on. If it feels like a wedgie, you don't have the right size on. No, who wants a fucking string up your ass all day?
I gotta tell you, I don't know. Once I was gonna say once you try it, you won't go back, but that's not the
No,
case at all. You
N-
just won't. Yeah,
no.
no. I think that there is a strong. I think that thongs are the cilantro of the underwear world. You either
Yes,
love them or you
totes.
loathe them. And that is
Yeah,
and I'm in the love category. I
yeah.
have one pair of non-thong underwear. That's it.
I, I, you're
And
my,
I keep it for I keep it for sentimental reasons. Just because I
I.
literally bought it back when Victoria's Secret was not what it is today. And this one pair of underwear, honest to
Not a
God,
sponsor. Please, not wanting
not
to be a sponsor.
this goes back. This is just it's really funny when I think about it. Back in the day, a million years ago, Victoria's Secret had it was sort of like a mesh. I'm not talking mesh like mesh nylons, like fishnet. It like
Yeah.
very fine, soft mesh. I guess I had multiple pairs, but I have still have one black pair. I am
Mhm.
not kidding you. I may have bought this as a freshman at Wheaton. I may have
That's a,
gotten it. I mean,
you
that is
still
so
have
long
them?
ago. I have one pair as just, I don't wear them very often, but like if I really feel, because they're the most comfortable things other than for me, my thong, because they don't cause panty lines if I wear the right pants and if I really need to wear them. But I
Right.
honestly, I don't even, I just keep them in the drawer and I look at them and I
Mm.
think, oh, wow, you were a good pair of
Yeah.
underwear.
Did you hand wash them or something? Like, did you like
No, no,
carefully?
no.
No.
This is back when
Oh,
stuff. This is back in my day. We're back when things used to last for a long time.
yeah.
I think no, they I think that there was a time when these things were made really beautifully and
Yeah.
stitched nicely and apparently I mean it can't be an organic material like I'm sure they're made out of polyester or something because cotton of course would have broken down
That's probably what
after all
kept
this
your
time.
labia intact
Kept
is
on my labia totally where it was supposed to be.
yeah, yeah. I should have
Yeah.
done that.
Yeah. No, things change down there.
Yeah, they do.
I'm totally, yeah. I wouldn't have really thought about this previously, I don't think, before we started
Mm,
talking about it. And we were kind of
mm,
joking about it the other day too, but if I thought it, yeah, I would have to agree with you that there are visual changes down there too.
mm. Do you like use a mirror and check it out?
No, but like you can just kind of
Do
was
you
that a
smile?
setup? I'm like, no, I don't. I mean, no, no. You can tell. I mean, just do you? I mean, you can just tell with your
No.
eyes.
Yeah. Or the feel. Like it just I can feel it. That's the difference for me. Like I just feel the change. Do your
Yeah.
ears hang low? Do they
Oh,
wobble
do they
too?
wobble
Yeah.
too? I know. Like,
Right?
see, and I don't. Yeah, I know. Mine is a visual noticing. I don't feel the flappage
Oh, it's good for you. It's getting better though. You want to know why?
because you don't wear thongs
Well,
because
no,
you use
but I
duct tape.
don't. Close. No.
Oh, because you. No, I'm.
Vaginal
Oh,
estrogen.
yes. Yes.
That
I'm
shit
not
is
because I'm not
great.
taking any hormones right now, but man, I'm certainly hopeful that Gliss will help me in
Oh,
that. But
yeah.
I have not used. Do you want to talk a little bit about why it's important or why it's helpful? Because
It's
I certainly cannot
so
speak to
great.
that,
Oh,
but you
it,
can.
it helps with. So we have estrogen receptors throughout our body, obviously, many, many, many. And in our vagina, we have our very own, like there's like a microbiome up in there in our vagina
Mm-hmm.
too. So to
Up
keep
in
the
there.
health of up in there, keep the health of our vaginal microbiome, estrogen is really, really important to keep that balanced, pH balanced, and all that kind of stuff. And it also helps with the elasticity in your vagina, in your labia, and all of that kind of stuff. So it's just like a what you get bang for the buck is amazing. It's super important too in this phase of our life because our susceptibility to urinary tract infection increases quite a bit
Mm-hmm.
in perimenopause. And
Mm.
one of the greatest preventive measures for that and treatments of it is vaginal estrogen. So I got on that right away after doing all my research, even though I don't have a history of UTIs or anything like that. But I was feeling the change in the labia. So I freaking estrogen up my hoo ha, estrogen on my face for the skin, and then I
You
have
use
my
different ones.
injectable.
You use
I
different ones,
do.
sis.
I sure do.
I,
Yeah. We don't put the vag cream on the
you know,
face.
no. I go back to we were joking about this the other day. I go back to that Friends episode when Joey and Chandler are talking about soap and how and how Joey says something along the lines of like the last thing that I use, don't you ever find it weird or whatever about the last thing that I use in the shower is the first thing that you use. And I think that he then talks about how soap is like self-cleaning or something. I'm completely hacking that, but it was hilarious and it's just his
Uh,
normal delivery, but it really it does make one think when you think about sharing soap
yeah.
and whatnot. It's funny.
100%.
I want to talk about the vag cream because all of this is bringing up for me, and I don't know
Mm,
if it would bringing this up for our dear listeners out there who can relate, whether they're our age or not, and frankly, male or female. I feel like there is so much information that's coming out right now
mm,
about women's health, women's bodies, whether you're a dad, whether you're a husband, whether you're a brother, you're being exposed to more and more, and we as women are being exposed to more and more information. It feels sad to me that we're
mm,
50. I'm 50.
mm.
You're on the precipice of, and that it's new information.
I
And
know.
how good would we have felt if we had known some of these things when we were in our 30s or
Yeah.
just treating hormones, handling hormones, thinking about like all the podcasts that are out now that talk about how young girls, the number in our generation, the number of young girls who were put on the pill or on hormone therapy because they may have had something going on with their hormones. I went
Hmm.
on the pill at 15 and a half because I started with my period and at one point it just didn't stop. And now today that is so
Wow.
like that's not like I would just have it a little bit every day. I would have it. It just never it at fifth after
Wow.
starting around 11 and a half or 12 when I first got it. Then I think I was just about 12, almost 12. But then when I was 15 and a half, it just wouldn't stop. And my doctor, that's what she did. But that's not what doctors do anymore. They don't want to put young girls on hormones. So my roundabout thing here, my point is that it hurts my heart to think that we have lost, we would have made choices very
Mm,
different 10,
mm,
15, 20 years ago even, and we could have prepared ourselves for even more beautiful health in this
mm,
moment. And I think about your beautiful wife who is a wee younger than we are, and
mhm,
how much she is benefiting from all of
mhm.
the research, everything that you do, all that you learn. I feel like she may live to 120 or
I know,
150, the rate that
right?
she's fucking going, right?
Yeah.
Like, what is
Yeah.
she, like 12 on the inside and because she takes such
Yes.
good care of herself?
Yeah.
Uh, but it makes me sad sometimes. It really
Yeah.
does. I feel like
Yeah.
we're
Well, and
behind the eight ball.
we didn't, our mothers and grandmothers didn't talk about any of this.
Right.
And I never,
Right.
of- when I had to have the birds and the bees conversation, right? Like when I'm however old, I think it was like 11,
17 and a
12 or
half.
something,
Oh,
something
okay.
like that. I was young, but it was Frank, my stepfather, who sat me down and had that conversation about, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
How come I don't remember that story
Yeah.
or have the knowledge of that? He really did?
Yeah, he was the one who sat me down and said, you're coming to the age where some things are going to start to change for you. And I want you to know this is like, I remember him opening a book and showing me, like, there was a picture of like the anatomy of a vagina. And he was showing these things to me. And so these things are going to start to develop and I have such a vivid memory of being like, and this is your clitoris right there, like pointing to the picture and things like that. And at the time I was so confused. I'm like, why? What is happening
Mm,
here? And I'm so grateful. Like, I'm so
sure.
grateful that he had that conversation with me and that like we had the type of relationship where like as a stepfather, like gosh, he was I that just doesn't even do it justice. We know that.
Yeah.
But that he sat me down and had that conversation. But then when it came to anything like menopausal, uh, my mom my mom didn't experience a ton of symptoms that she
Mm,
identified
okay.
as as perimenopause or menopause. There was at one point where she was saying to me the other day that there was a time where she would get some hot flashes, and it was around the time that she moved to Florida, that she and Frank moved to Florida. And she remembers getting really, really irate with him and being like, why would you move a perimenopausal woman to Florida? So there was some recognition.
Oh,
That was Shakti jumping off my shoulder.
she just launched.
Um, so there was some recognition of that happening, but there wasn't enough information to pull all the pieces together to
Mm,
know like how can I feel even better than I feel.
sure.
And she also said she didn't have a lot of like mood changes or anything like that. But in looking back, if she were to pause and identify how she felt during that time, I wonder if there would be things that she noted. I'll probably ask her about that.
Mm,
But that being said, they were also of the generation where the Women's Health Initiative back in 2002 came out, and it scared the shit out of women around taking
yes.
hormones because
Yeah.
it said that this causes breast cancer. And
Yes.
subsequent and the data was not analyzed properly. It wasn't explained properly. The contextual pieces, how they talked about risk was wrong, absolute risk versus, can't remember the other type of risk. And so since then, they've walked back a lot of the things that they said back in 2002, yet it still is the predominant narrative that we're given around hormones and perimenopause.
Mm,
So they also, there was like, I think at the time that it came out, a great majority of women were on hormones. And when they did that press conference, literally, I think it went down to something like 4% of women were on
wow.
hormones after that.
Wow. I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
then
So I
I
never
also think
talked about
back. Well, so going back to what you just said about your mom's experience not having a whole lot of symptoms, that it makes sense that if you're not going to talk about something all that much if you don't have the experience with it. So I
right.
that it does make an awful lot of sense. I I wish that I've always known when my mom went through it, and I've always known that Nanny went through it early. I wish that I had gone a little deeper with my mom and Nanny too when Nanny was
Mm,
alive, and I was, I had her for an awfully long time, and I could have asked her more questions. I wish that I had asked more questions about, hey, so what did it
mm,
feel like? And and what was the onset and what were your symptoms? Because then it never got, it has not ever been brought up. Like we just don't talk about it. Hey, even sometimes something will go on with Aaron, or something will be happening. And I will say to mom now, it could be, it could be perimenopause. And mom
Mm-hmm.
on a couple of occasions has said, "Oh, yeah, that it's, it could be that. Oh, and it could be her hormones." Or because
Yeah.
I do think that sometimes with Aaron's population, sometimes we also forget because Aaron's 48 and but
Mm-hmm.
presents like such a little girl most of the
Yeah.
time. It's sometimes hard to remember that she's a grown woman and
Yes.
has all the
Yes.
innards and all the parts and pieces of a grown woman. So yeah, this is I think that the best thing that we can do, I think, with the information that we have is to use it, act on it, and try to be our healthiest self. I go back to, and I think about this so often, the beauty that you shared in our first episode about how you believe that you move your body because your grandmother couldn't, and how that
Mm-hmm.
absolutely brought me to tears when you said it. And
Mm-hmm.
it is as if we can't unhear, we can't unsee the things that we do with in the news, and hearing the stories from other women about like what these experiences are like. And if we don't take good care of ourselves, we're going to end up being the only ones to blame, because there are a lot of
Mm-hmm.
women out there who are doing miraculous work in getting the word out. Or even going back to our episode with Lisa, when you were talking before about your ranges, how you're at the, at the your blood tests, your results,
Mm-hmm.
and how, maybe you're at the high end of, on the border line, on the border
Mm-hmm.
for this or lower for that. And when she was talking about how all of these blood test ranges are all based on
Yeah.
the sickest
Population.
proportion.
Not the sickest proportion, but it's based on the population. And so, as a population, we haven't gotten healthier. We've
Mm,
gotten sicker in a way, sicker. So, it's based on population data, which includes healthy people, but also a lot of sick people. And so, that normal range that, and again, this is my perspective, and I think it's some other people's perspective too, but that range is not optimal. Like if you want to
mm,
optimize your health and functioning, it may fall outside of that range.
mm,
But that range is based on the changing health of a population.
mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm. Well, uh, I'm looking here at some of the other things that we were talking about.
I'll tell
Right.
you
Oh
something
yeah.
I do love that
Why don't
I've
you tell me?
learned more of these days when we're talking about bodies. Nipple covers.
Oh, baby.
Love
Phenomenal. I
them.
love them. I love them. I love them. I love them so much. I love them so
And
much.
and we may or may not have shared them one time when
Oh
I
yes.
forgot a bra
That's right.
and I was going out to dinner with
Oh,
my lovely
sorry for the
wife and
snort.
meeting my mom and her significant other and his family, and I didn't have a bra. And so I asked my best friend Jen, because we were staying with you, hey babe, you got some nipple covers? And she's sure do. Whips off her shirt, pulls off her nipple covers, puts a little
That's
rubbing
right.
alcohol on those bad boys. I whip up my shirt, stick those puppies right on, and I was good to
That's
go. And I
right.
think your husband might have been horrified.
Uh, oh, that's so funny. That was in May, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't that in May when you guys were heading down? So we had some warm spells here
Yeah. It was
early
hot
on.
that day.
And then we had the 15 weekends of rain, where at least
Mhm.
one day over the weekend rained, if not both. It was a wet spring, but it was also, on the sunny days it was warm. Yeah. And I fucking love nipple covers when you're wearing a tank top. There is just nothing
Right?
better. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
at the
God.
time, so this is funny. I now have two pairs here. I have two pair.
Oh,
So I only had one when you were here.
right.
And so if I was going to give it to you, you had to have it right then and there. So yeah,
Yeah.
I gave it to you.
Thank you.
Oh, I
Yeah,
gave it
thank
to
you.
you. You
Yeah,
had
you
it.
did. I took
Oh,
it, baby.
baby. You took it. You took it. And
Sorry, I
yes,
interrupted you. I interrupted you when
no,
you
that's
were.
okay. I was just looking. Ironically, I did look down and I saw nipple covers. Let's see. I wrote down labia, neck, nipple covers, and Jen's
Labia
feet.
Nick.
No, neck.
Oh,
I
neck.
put
I thought you said
neck,
labia
not
Nick.
my, no, 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 a labia, neck, nipple covers, and my feet. And then
Wow.
it was sort of one of those. And my next note is midlife bodies. WTF?
Right. It's so
These are
true.
the little things that I write down to
Yeah. Yeah.
jog jog my mind. The other thing I would like to go back to that you mentioned earlier that you were coming to realize around your 45-year
Mm.
mark, you were talking about how you noticed you needed to change the way you moved. And
Yes.
I find that I am having to do that only because I have had this back pain, this back hiccup since the summertime and having a lot of x-rays and realizing that I've got some, I don't want to say significant, but I have a healthy dose of scoliosis in my back and my neck.
Hmm.
I fell roller skating back in 2017 with the kiddos
Mm.
and fell pretty fucking hard twice. It was
Mm.
wildly inelegant. Just
Mm.
at Roller Kingdom. It was not pretty, but anyway. And I, since the back and being seeing my wonderful chiropractor, I am being super hyper conscious about how I move my body. And sounds dumb, but
Yeah.
the whole lift with your knees and honestly, that is truly the biggest one. And you're smiling because I'm sure you're like, this is just like no brainer shit,
No, I
Jen.
don't. I actually don't want you lifting with your knees, is what I'm thinking.
But like, I bend, I am flexible. And so I am on the floor a lot and I get down on my hands and knees or I'm crouched down a lot and I
Yeah.
don't
You're
ever
super
think
mobile.
about it. But man, like I've got to be, I
Yeah.
also notice that it won't take much for me to feel a little slippage in my back. And I get really nervous about that because we
Yeah.
have all heard the stories of family members who, as they have aged, they walk out into the driveway and their foot just turns a little tiny bit on a stone or something, and then boom,
Yeah.
and then their back is quote unquote out. I
Out.
can't.
Hmm.
So Lisa scared the bejesus out of me thinking and about like back fucking health and
Yeah.
strength. And I have been so wary and frankly in so much discomfort since July.
Hmm.
I'll be perfectly honest, July, August, I feel like I have lost so much
Mm.
muscle since
Yeah.
July
Mm.
because of this. And now
Yeah.
I really need to change. I need to do what my mom says, change the dance, stop complaining about the thing that I don't like. And I've got to figure out a way to
Mm.
be able to do it safely and healthfully. So that
Yeah.
is the ways that we maybe smarten up. Maybe this is a little bit of like as we age, we get smarter about what we're going to do and what we're not going to do and just be a lot more intentional about it. But
Yeah.
I have to get, I have to get stronger and I'm nervous about it. I won't lie.
Mm. What is the biggest thing that you're nervous about?
I feel like I feel like I'm out of shape.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm smart enough to know that well, I guess I'm smart enough to have realized that for me, health can't only be eating well because that's only a little part of it. I feel okay about how my clothes fit. I feel good enough about how I look. It's always naked, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you can always look great in clothes, but it's how you look naked. Like I feel okay enough
Mm-hmm.
with how I look naked, but I could feel so much better. And I need to put in the work. And I also
Mm-hmm.
need to not be afraid to hurt myself since I don't know how I hurt
Mm.
myself in the first place.
Got
And I
it. And
think that
so
it was
would you say
stress.
the fear is more about like injuring yourself?
There is that. But I also know that also smart enough to know that if I'm working with a physical therapist who then gives me the right exercises, and like Lisa was talking about when, the person just goes up to you in the gym and gives you advice, like, well, you don't know my medical history. You don't know what my goals are. You don't know,
Yeah.
like all of those things. I need some direction.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I both know that my focus over the years has not been I'm not as disciplined as you are. I'm just not. And if I really want to be as healthy as I can, I need
Mm-hmm.
to I need to at least make sure that the end of this year, which as I am in my 50th year, I guess I'm in my 51st year, I want to feel like I've done something good for myself. It's been a hard,
Mm-hmm.
emotional and physical year, and I just I want to be more I don't want to just talk about being more focused. I actually want to be more focused. I want to be more committed. I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
the highest compliment that Lisa could have given you was that like, anybody knows that once you put your mind to something, if they ask you to do something or if they tell you to do something, you will do it. You will
Mm-hmm.
do it no matter what. And I am not that good. And if I'm tired or
Mm-hmm.
I am way more of an excuse person than you are. And it's the one thing throughout my whole life that I've really loathed about my personality,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to exercise, because I think when
Mm-hmm.
I was younger, I did a lot of exercise at times that where I absolutely didn't want to do it. And it was one of those things where I can remember being in college and crying on the way to the fitness center, not like but
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
not but like I didn't have
I
a
don't
gun to
want to
my head, but
do
like
it.
I like tears rolling down my face because I had chosen to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning before classes to go and exercise, and I
Mm-hmm.
knew it was good for me, but I wasn't doing it for the right reasons. I was doing it because I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to look good,
And were
right? I
you?
wasn't doing it for my health.
Mm. So, and I think that's such an important distinction too, around what the why is
Hmm.
for moving your body. And I think we've been socialized as women around the concept of be small, like get as small as you can. So,
Sure.
and that's translated into over the years, like how we move our body. If we do like a lot of a cardio because we think it's going to burn all the fat and we'll be skinny and da, 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 da. And then what I've heard a lot of even now from the women that I'm connected with or ask me questions is that there's this fear of getting big and bulky and
Mm,
putting on too much muscle. They don't want to look muscular. And that's also another fallacy is that for a woman to bulk, to truly bulk up, it requires a lot of work and a lot of food.
mm,
And so it is going to be very, very rare for a woman to get bulky. They may put on more muscle mass, which is good because muscle is what's going to save you when you fall because muscle is connected to your bone. And so the more muscle that you have on your body as especially as women as we age is going to be so protective. And so you're going to put on muscle, but that's only going to be a positive thing. When started to lift a few years ago, in about a year's time, I think I put on, it was 8 months, I put on 9 pounds of muscle. That's crazy because it also tells you how little muscle I had. And from that point on, right now, I'm kind of it. as we age, it becomes harder and harder as women to put on muscle. And so I've been kind of fluctuating a half a pound here, a pound up here, but it becomes much harder to put on more muscle because we lose it so quickly as we age. So if we
Yeah.
don't use it, we lose it. And so I have found too that there's this fear around lifting weights related to getting big. And it's just doesn't happen as often as people think
Mm.
it does.
It's too bad that we were socialized to think that that was not feminine or
Yeah.
not pretty or
Yeah.
that I don't, for me personally, that never enters my mind, probably because I'm too hyper focused on the fact that I'm already negative self-talking myself about how unfocused I feel like I am. Like I couldn't
Mm.
possibly bulk up because that would
Mhm.
require someone to go to the gym way more than I go. So I'm not afraid of that
You're not
at
afraid of
all.
that.
Like bring me all the muscles. Like I would love them, but
Mhm.
sometimes I would like to take a pill and
Yeah.
have all the muscles, but I would like to I would like to change my mindset
Mm.
so that I am doing things for my longevity and for my health. And if I put as much effort into lifting as I did creating a meal plan that was going to make my family happy, or making a beautiful dinner for my husband on date night, or
Mhm.
creating, like, coming up with a craft cocktail, or even being able to master someone else's recipe and do it in the right way. I'm so
Mhm.
intentional about so many. If I
Yeah.
exercise the way I can decorate my house, like
You
I'm not saying that because I'm all that in a bag of chips, but like I love to do it and I put so much time and effort into it. I could really have a body that I was super proud of. And
Mhm.
as Lisa also says, you can tell that she's had a lot of head space, a lot of space in my head lately.
Mhm.
When you if you are going at your workouts and your healthy regime the right way, the byproduct is looking good. Like the
Yeah.
goal, like the first thing on the list is that
Mm.
you feel better, right?
Mm.
And
Mhm.
so I I need to that's like that's some self-work. I should talk to your wife about that since she's helping me with all of my
Yeah.
somatic exercises from a mental perspective, that I would like to change that story of mine because it's a fucking old story
Yeah.
of not like,
Yeah, we want to rewrite that narrative.
yeah.
Or
Yeah.
write a new chapter. It's just an old chapter.
Yeah. hmm
Right. And you get to write the next one.
I want to be more like you. I do. I admire you.
Girl.
It's true. Like I admire you. I
Girl,
admire
if I
you
could
so much.
decorate my house the way you decorate your house, I mean,
Dude,
I love our house, don't get me
I love
wrong.
your house too.
And there you have such a fucking gift
Oh, you're kind.
for making a house a home. It is
Yeah.
it really truly is. It's just superpower of yours, and it is one that I admire. And every time I leave your home, I come back to mine, and I'm like, okay, what are we going to change? What are we going to do? How are we going to make things more
Mm,
organized? How are we going to make it more homey? How are we going to change the lighting? So it's, yeah, you do. You have such a gift for that.
I receive, I
Thank you.
appreciate, and I will just say that this house, like it won't matter if I'm not around to be able to pick up
Yeah, I got you.
a couch and be able to fucking move it by myself, right?
Yeah.
Like if I can't live in it, it's not gonna do me any good. But
Baby,
I'm a work in progress.
I can help you with that too.
I know,
Remember?
I
I
know,
can
I know. This is what you're doing.
Yeah.
This
So
is
you
what you're
just say the
doing.
word whenever you want. Like we go slow. Like part of it is making sure you're doing it properly, that your form is right, you know? So if I can help in any way, send me videos and shit. I'll help.
I think that I am super close to that. I think that there's also very much, and I'm sure that others who are listening can relate to this. Like you do have the people in your life that you also don't want to let down. And so there is a
Mm,
little bit of the, you know, I would absolutely be the grasshopper, learning from the master, and I am okay with that because I love being taught. I don't ever worry about not doing it right with you. I don't ever worry about fucking up. I think there is a part of me that also worries that I'm just not gonna. I need to, if I'm gonna commit to it, I need to hold up my end of the bargain
Yeah.
and do the thing.
Yeah.
You know.
I
So.
got you. And I love you just the way you
Oh,
are.
Billy Joel. Oh,
Yeah, I know.
how much do we love him?
Anything else that we wanted to touch on today, or are we ready to move on to
I think
the rest of our date?
I think I'm good. I mean, did we talk about labias enough? I guess that's
I th-
my big question is, did we
I feel
talk
like we
about
gave
them enough?
her. I think we gave her due
Some
airtime.
time. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And if she needs to come back, I can just bring her back whenever, no matter who the guest is. So, excuse me, could you please tell me about how your labia has changed?
How's that?
That could
Has
be
it
our
changed?
question
How's it? Oh,
for
that would
everybody.
be. Oh, there you go. There you go. Move over, Vanity Fair back page questionnaire. We're gonna
Yeah.
kick off with the L word.
Yes. Has your labia changed? If so, how?
If
Say
so,
more.
how? Say more. Say more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. You're the
All
best.
right, girl. I love you so much.
I love you so much.
So nice to see you, and
I was
I
trying
can't
to find
wait.
a labia joke, but I can't.
Yeah,
It's just
no.
I can't.
I think she's all shriveled up now.
Oh, she's shy. Is she shy? Is she shy? All right, I'll stop talking about it.
She's gone inward.
She's introspective. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day. I couldn't love you more, and I love sharing this time with you so
Me
much.
too, sweetie pie. I love you.
I love you too. Bye.
Well, that was delish. Thanks for pulling up a chair with us at Women Around a Table Eating Food. You can find us here bi-weekly, so if you loved today's conversation, hit follow wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube or Instagram at Women Around a Table, and share it with a friend, because there's always room for more at our table.